Radio. All right, I'm live. Let me go on and turn on my radio live on IAAH radio. Hello there. Let me know when you all hear me, moderator on YouTube. Hi, IAAH radio. How are you today? With the best DJs and the best music in town. I am just waiting to come here live on YouTube in the Dominican Republic. Am I on yet? Says I'm live. Can you hear me? All right. Hi, everyone. This is Judge Desire for Knowledge. I'm here in the Dominican Republic live at you with 105 degrees. So bear with me. I'm going to try to not go too fast, but at the same time, I am exhausted. I need that air conditioning in the apartment. Definitely. It's needed out here. Please keep yourselves covered with sunscreen. Stay out of the heat. There's a lot of heat strokes going around. It's not just over here in the Caribbean. Up in the States, I'm hearing the same thing about the heat being an issue. So take it easy. Drink lots of water, my peeps. And so I'm glad to be with you here today live in the Dominican Republic as well. And so, being that I travel here a lot, I figure whenever I come here, I like to do or speak about the cultures here or whatever comes up at that time so that I will start my content on based on certain things I see and experienced here. So, in this time that I experienced, let me go with my title first. Know Your Truth, Real Talk meets I'm Out and About Travels, right? The Dominican Republic cultures and their flag. So, what about their flag? What about their cultures? Well, this is what it's about. And I also have seen some posts on Instagram about this as well. So, it encouraged me to write this content about the Dominican Republic, which I always do when I'm out here, but the specifics about the Dominican Republic. So, on that being said, we're going to talk about the cultures and the flag today of the Dominican Republic because we all know that our flag is supposed to represent who we are as a people, our society. For instance, the United States, ours is freedom with stars and stripes, right? But yet we turn away foreigners who work efficiently and diligently to be here and free from drug and war-torn countries. So what kind of sense does that make? We were also once not free. So I'm just bringing this little example in as I speak to you about the Dominican Republic cultures and their flag so that they don't take the hit over the head when I say what I say, because we also are doing the same thing in our countries as well. We actually don't represent the flags that we think we do. We don't embrace what it says we have. So I just wanted to bring that in and start with that. The first thing for me is that if we're land of the free and brave and stripes and all of that, why aren't we helping other people? We're supposed to be in God we trust. Why aren't we doing all the things we're supposed to do? So, with that being said, I recently discovered, and this is really funny because I love this flag, but I didn't realize that it the Dominican Republic's flag is actually sealed with the Bible. I only saw the cross. I didn't even notice that was a Bible. I found that out on Instagram this week as I was browsing through posting my stuff. Yes, I am on IG. Look me up, Judge Desire for Knowledge, and you can follow me there as well. I'm not there as much because it doesn't give off enough vibes for me there. Mostly negative stuff comes up and gets liked. So I basically try not to go on there too much. But you can check me out on Facebook and here on YouTube on IAAH Radio as well, for my talk show part where they have DJs and with music, all types of music. Go check them out. Thank you, IAAH Radio. Getting back to the content I was talking about, which was the flag and the cultures. And after looking through the comments, I must say that they are a proud people. They love their country, which is beautiful, and no matter what. However, what I also noticed while visiting here, which I'm always visiting, is that I hardly see them following what their nation's flag stands for. See, now that I've seen the Bible and the cross, I'm like, okay, I know people can be overly religious, but I don't even see religion here that much. But it is what it is, not everyone practices. So the Bible or anything, and they don't live up to what I see the Bible and the cross on their, which is Jesus, supposed to be about. So I don't see that. And this is not a religious show right now, but it just came to me to do this part because I couldn't understand how I didn't notice that before, that there was a Bible um, detailed on their flag. So knowing this and just finding out, I said, "Oh wow, I came across that on this Instagram. Let me check these comments." Some were positive comments, statements, mostly from the natives themselves commenting on their own country. Because, of course, they're proud people. They love who they are and they love this beautiful land, which is beautiful, I must admit. And they always brag about, or I should say, be proud about how blessed their country is, and how much they have faith in the Catholic Church. So that's where I had this issue. That's the faith they practice, and I know that, and that's the main faith here that I've seen, if any, because there wasn't much, but it is a part of their history, of the flag having the Bible on it, pertaining to being Catholics. So, with that being said, I just want to demonstrate a few things that I saw with this without seeing Instagram that they do. They, they talk about how blessed their country is, how we love our country, how we respect our Catholic faith. These are important to them, and how we love our food, culture, and music. And that's great and all. It's really beautiful when you love yourself and you love your country's cultures. However, some of these things are far from the truth. That part is good, what they love, but it's not just that. There's some things here that are far from the truth. By me visiting this country, I'm noticing a lot of stuff, but you get your pros and cons everywhere. So I'm not putting Dominican Republic down. No way. I wouldn't be coming here if I didn't love it. But I have to say, them being a proud people, they have to be careful of how proud they are without noticing their actions. For instance, okay, they're a blessed country indeed, but still have a lot to accomplish here if they want to compete with the United States, such as learning English and becoming bilingual. Everyone should become bilingual, but some people just will not even learn English. English is going to be such a learning tool for people. Um, that's where the money market is for growth, and that's where you're going to make the most money. And with us knowing that as American citizens or United States, knowing that we already born with the language. So I'm learning different languages as well because I would like to be trilingual. Other people don't even care about talking English, and that's the stubbornness of some of the Latino countries, and one being Dominican Republic. Unfortunately, they are having a hard time. It's understandable, but some don't even try. And we always try to tell them, you know what, try to do the best you can. You're worth more than this. You can make more than that. Doesn't mean you have to go to the United States, but you can make a better pay right here in your country if you learned both the languages, or you're efficient in English, right? So people are, because if they don't learn the language and everything, everything is going to be taken from them. Their own uh, other worlds are coming here buying up their land because they can't afford to buy their own land or businesses, and that's sad. Why would you want that to happen? This has happened before, and I won't mention that history because we all know what that was. But this is about Dominican Republic right now, and I think my people, even though I'm not Dominican, I love them as if they were. I try hard. I get upset, but I try to help them with whatever positivity I could give to them. And some won't listen. They're very stubborn. Another thing is they love their country and take a lot of pride in it, and that is good. And it is a proudful nation, I have to say. However, the fact is, they don't like change, and that's the problem I've been having with them conducting conversations. They don't like change. Change is keeping them dominant, dormant, and dormant. Sorry about that, and stuck in their way of doing things that isn't working for them. It really isn't, but you can't tell them that. Some of them are offended when you tell them it's not working for you. Don't you notice it? All we can do is give them the good information that we get from watching them. Just like if they come to our states or countries, wherever you live, you would want to people to tell you how they're feeling, experiencing your country as well. Another thing is most of the natives are of Catholic faith, but it's not what the flag illustrates. Okay, I love coming here, and most of my visits, I've seen a lot of Santeria religions, ungodly religions, people that worship, you know who. that doesn't deserve the credit for me to say the name. And that does not represent the Bible they have on their flag. I'm not saying the Catholic Church doesn't represent the Bible, but everything that has a picture on it of Jesus Christ in the Bible doesn't mean that they're for that. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I've also been at some of their parades, and I used to take pictures and not notice this until someone from DR that was born here and lives in America told me take that picture down because you see that in the middle there, that's the mascot, that's our mascot, and it's the devil. They have that mask and they utilize that in all their parades. I don't know if they don't, it's willingly or unwillingly, but you can't serve two masters, have a Bible on your flag and a cross, and be proud on Instagram, jumping up and down in your comments about how great you are when you celebrate Satan himself. Oops, I said his ugly name. That one, the dark one. I'm sorry about the comment. I'm sorry I didn't get to check the comments. All right. So with that being said, it's not proper. You got to know who and what choices you're going to make. So when she told me about that, I said to myself, oh my God, I erased all the parade stuff I've ever taken because I love taking photographs and videos, and I had to delete them. They were pretty costumes, all nice, and I missed that one. But I was so glad she let me know that that was her culture when she grew up. And she was so scared and frightened of it that it scared her whole life. And she was glad to leave. But I'm sure she comes back and she does miss it. She does visit, but she said, no way will I represent that. And I'm the same. With that being said, they also use the D word a lot here, Diablo. I won't say it. In every sentence, in their vocabulary, in their speech. I can't. And sometimes I go, please do not use that word around me. I do not call dark or beneath me things around me. So, and it will follow you for the rest of your life if you keep doing that. And they don't get it. Or some of them don't understand they're doing it, which I understand that. But who doesn't call on Jesus? You have the Bible on your flag, you have a cross, but you're calling that? I see a problem here for me, and that's why I'm doing this content today because I'm trying to have them recognize what they're doing, just like we have to recognize what we're doing. But we're talking about Dominican Republic today because they love so much of who they are, and they need to see certain things that they're not seeing is what I should say. I mean, I'm not here to teach and tell them what to do. They can embrace what I have to say, take in what they want, and leave the rest alone. It's up to them. It's never going to be up to me, but it doesn't mean it's going to stop me from giving them my knowledge and truth of how I see the situation either. With that being said, I know that they also celebrate the Day of the Dead. A lot of places Latinos do. I know Mexico and I think Colombia. Why? Why are you celebrating the dead? They're doing better than you. Celebrate Jesus Christ and life as you have it right now and the life after life. But never celebrate the dead. You can memorize people that have passed a different way, but they go around with skulls and death all over their bodies. I mean, and masks of death. I don't know who you're calling upon, but it sure is not the light. The Bible and that cross is not about all of these things I'm mentioning. So here we're seeing that you're saying one thing, but you're doing the total opposite of it. And that is needed to be told out there. So when I read these comments, I was like, oh boy, they're really blinded because only the natives were making positive comments. There was a few Mexicans made positive comments. I'm going to read some of these comments briefly. And then there was other countrymen and women who made comments that was against what their flag means because they know what I'm seeing and they illustrated that on that page. I'm not sure if you want to go on Instagram and check that out, but it was about their flag. So yet on top of that, DR is also known for being one of the most open and accepted prostitution here. There's Colombia, there's a lot of places. I don't want to name all these countries. Thailand, okay, and that's how they find work. But it's openly here. I think they're cleaning it up now, and I hope they really mean it because these Jezebels needs to go. How can you ignore the truth and the country does not represent the Dominican flag in that way and what it stands for? How can you ignore that? God and the Bible, if you want to put the cross and the Bible on your flag, does not represent prostitution. So that needs to be eliminated here. And everything you need to do in life has to represent that. Since you're talking about it, how great it is. It's the best flag ever, which I have to agree. I love it. It's one of my faves. But outside of that, what you do here is not one of my faves. So you say one thing, you do another. You can't do that. You have to be persistent in what you're saying to the outer world, unless you don't notice it. All right. The natives also love their food, cultures, and music so much that they only listen to their music, bachata and merengue. And I've experienced that here, and it will go all day long. And as soon as someone changes it up, either with reggaeton, salsa, or even English, the party stopped. There is no more party now because it's not about them. So that's another kind of thing that bothers me, because we all supposed to embrace each other, each other's cultures, foods, dance, share each other's everything so that we can enjoy. You're not losing your culture by enjoying other people's culture. You're embracing it. So I don't know who taught people that, but I've heard it from other people. Oh, Puerto Rico, this and that, because they allowed the United States and they lost their culture. We didn't lose anything. Nobody lost anything. No one lost their culture. You still can eat your food. We're just saying, do your chants, sing your songs. You're just saying, please embrace others. I mean, that's what we're all here for, to love one another as is, whether it's American food, if you like that, or whatever, Spanish food, West Indian food, Jamaican food, Colombian food, whatever. It's all great, because what it is you're learning different tastes and different cultures, different backgrounds, different songs, different dance, but they are stuck in their ways. And I've seen them frown at the music and cultures that you know they're not into, and denying themselves the opportunities to embrace us and others. For instance, I go to this restaurant. I won't mention their name because I don't want them to have any issues, and it's supposed to be authentic. So the food I won't mention, but it is not native. I'm the native Dominican food, and so they're determined not to cook it the way that it's supposed to be cooked. I stopped going. Let's just make that long story short, because now you're taking away other people's culture. Yes, this is your country, but embrace that other people come here to help encourage you, to open you guys up. There's some type of ignorance, and it's sickening sometimes. And it's not everyone, but the majority, yeah. They don't want to hear it. They will not hear it. If it's not their rice and beans, mora, it can't be anything else. Well, I know some of them do arroz con gandules, but it has to be their strict, only their recipes. I mean, like, we all embrace each other. It's almost the same. How you make platinos, I make mango. My husband makes mango. We love it, and we eat it the other way. You can't just have it one way and be satisfied in life. I mean, that to me is boring. It's boring me to tears watching people not enjoy and embrace other things, but it's not up to me, right? But this is my show and my channel, so I'll say as I please. And this is something that we all got to look at. And cross and that beautiful seal of the Bible on your flag does not say it's just you, but yet in the comments it is just them. I have seen some of the comments, and here's what some of them said. I thought I would share this, shine a light on it, and so that we can see how we overshadow things because we want to believe in what we think is the truth. So this is from a native Dominican. The comment is, God is everywhere, but he loves us here in Dominican Republic. He loves this country. So then why do you pray to the Virgin Mary instead of Jesus, is what I'm saying. Who has more than Mary ever will? Who can do more than Mary ever will? That comment didn't go with me, because we know it's beautiful and we know your country is beautiful. He doesn't just live in Dominican Republic. He lives everywhere, okay? And that flag is just because someone put that uh, art, beautiful art on a flag, doesn't mean that that is what it is. We don't even know if it was a devil worshiper that imprinted that flag, just like the United States. We don't know. I mean, we can't just take everything as we see it and believe it. Okay, that's why there's things called research, or going out and embracing other cultures, other places, like I do, traveling and go see for yourself. That's how you learn. So I'm bringing this experience to you, Judge Desire for Knowledge. Please like, share, and subscribe if you want to hear more like this, and also hear me on Talk Radio, IAAH. Radio. Okay. With that being said, where was I now? Because I'm going pretty fast. It's getting hot out here. It's getting hot out here. Okay. Some of us have to and really embrace that we're not going to be the best. None of us are. We're all equal, but we don't see that. And so the next comment. This is an unknown origin. I don't know who, what country they're from. They're saying to the flag being with the Bible and the cross, oh, that's interesting, but not impressive because we aren't actually living according to God's love and standards. Some of us have in God we trust on bills. We know that's us, the United States. Some have crosses and Bibles on their feet, flags tattooed on their bodies, and some around their necks, but don't live this lifestyle. It's just true. Hmm. Let our lifestyles do the talking. That person is right. I agree with that. This is true even for us. We know we don't really trust in God. Do we really trust in God or we trust more in money? Because this person made a great statement on in God we trust and we put it on money. We either worship God or we worship money. So in similarities, we do have the same problem, and we are not looking at things that we are talking about as far as I love and this is blessing us and this is what it is. No, it's not actually. And we got to determine what it means to us and those that actually fulfill the purposes of what that flag say or what the money say by doing the right thing and not worshiping it and only worship what is need to be worshipped. Whatever you worship is what you worship. I'm talking about what I worship. And when it comes to that, as a for Christ person, I do not think that everyone's perfect. And this is not a religious show, but since this came up as a topic, I just wanted to say that not everyone is going to be for you. And a lot of people say they're religious and they're not spiritual, and they're not. It's a different. They're dark spiritualist, light spiritualist, whatever the case may be. It's not always what it seems to be, and that's where you have to figure it out for yourself. And another unknown origin that I could not find out where they were from said, "So you people still cherry picking the Bibles?" I guess he's a non-believer. Who knows? I didn't comment on that right now. I didn't comment on any. Matter of fact, I did comment, and someone called me a name on that, but it's okay. I love that because you know what? I like debates and I like when people speak up for themselves and show me who they are. If you're dumbed down, then you're going to remain dumbed down, and I laugh at you. I'm not in your face, but I don't I don't have time for tit and tat with people because that's beneath me. So instead of doing that, I rise and I bring out my information, and those that want to see it do, and those that don't. You know, it's not going to bother me. I'm not here for the money. I'm here to bring the truth, not to lie to you and or my truth anyway, and to hear your truth. That's the whole idea here, that we bring each other together to learn each other's truth. But if you want to tit for tat with people because they're bringing you the truth, because I did mention if that's the case, why do you say the D word all the time? That's when that person called me a name, and it starts with an N. So I figured, you're too pitiful for me. Instead of saying anything, I'll let that person stay dumbed down because he didn't even know my face or anything. He just called me the N word anyway. So because I don't put my picture on most of my business, um, Judge Desire for Knowledge business at all. I only put my gavel, which you see here, um, and some of my little stuff I've had created for me, most by my husband who has. And so they didn't have my face at all, and they called me the N word. So that's ignorance, and it was someone from the native country. Little do they know I visit here all the time, and they didn't know I was doing this show today. I wasn't even going to mention it, but this is the ignorance we're going through, not just here in Dominican Republic, but around the world, and it's sad. Another one, okay, another unknown or oh no, yes, unknown origin is I love Dominicans. Don't get me wrong, but some of y'all need Jesus in your life and not just in your hearts and not just on your flag. And that's true too, but who am I to judge? I'm just reading the comments. Another unknown origin. Funny how the country is full of hookers. Oof, that's harsh, but it is the truth. An unknown origin. Again, DR has the greatest corruption and infidelity rate in the world. We don't know that for sure, but it is a part of it. The problem, I could say that this is the comments being said against their flag that they. So it's not that it's against the flag; it's against the people not seeing it for what it is and bragging about how great their country is and compared to others. And so other people are responding. I'm just giving you the facts and what it's about. And so after that comment, I got another comment, and the last comment that I chose because some of them was so degrading that I don't think you should be talking about people like that. And so this was a native. Now you see the difference between the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Who was talking about Haiti? Why are you bringing them in here? Both sharing the same island, Haiti should convert to Christ as well. Now they're condemning Haiti. My God, you're condemning Haiti. You already threw these people out, but you're of the Bible. Not only the Bible, you have the cross on there too. Oh, wow. When they also worship ungodly religions, I don't get it. We can't throw things at people when we're doing the same in our country. And who was talking about Haiti? We talking about your flag. If Haiti does their voodoo, they do their voodoo. Who cares about them? Voodoo is beneath us. We don't care about that. Not Christian. We don't believe in that foolishness. We know that foolish people believe in it. But either way, we notice that you're pointing fingers at other people, but not seeing yourselves, and that's the same thing in all over the world. But I'm talking about Dominican Republic right now, and to wake them up. They're probably not going to understand this message because it's in English, and most of them don't even care about learning it. So that's the part of the ignorance I'm talking about. I do want to help the people here in any way or form I can, so they can reach the goals that we have reached in America. Since the president we have is throwing them out and everybody else out, they're not going to get those opportunities there if we keep this president too much longer. And he has another term of 3 years, but this is not about him because he's not someone I want to talk about on my show at this time. And with that being said, we are seeing different perspectives on how DR sees themselves. They see themselves as different from us, and that they are Christians like no other in the world. I'm not understanding that, but there are a few that are like that, and they have the Bible. I found out on their flag because of being a Catholic nation. That's what they said. And they are the Christians like no other, and God favors them more, is what I've been told. That because they have a Bible on their flag, but which doesn't much make sense. If you don't put action into it, saying that you have the best and you're this and that, but you're not putting your best in it, and I don't get that. You have a Bible on your flag and you're saying that you have it and God favors you and only you all, but you're doing the total opposite there. I don't think God is going to favor that. They also have named Dominican Republic was named after a saint called Dominic. I didn't even know that. As I researched stuff, but in the Bible, if you look at it, there is no such thing as a saint. The saints are you and I, saints, not an idol worship. This is where Santeria comes in a lot of these religious, ungodly religions. This is why I don't practice religion at all, because overly religious people are like the Pharisees. You can and you can't do this. But if you're going to call in dark demons and idols and worship them, then, that is to me voodoo. I mean, what's the difference? And so, with that being said, why have the Bible? But as I was saying, saints are you and I, but the Catholic faith hasn't and will not teach them that or anyone. This is why I left Catholicism a long time ago. I'm not putting them down. Some people are comfortable there, but I just couldn't do that anymore. It wasn't for me at all. No. And we just need to be careful what we say when we refer to the Bible. Just because we have religious details on our flags, our money, and in our churches regarding the Bible, it doesn't, and the cross, it doesn't mean that all of us live up to it. And so, as long as people know that we're not perfect, oh, I'm sorry, I kept going. We're not perfect. We're good. You're not supposed to be perfect. There was only one perfect person, and I'm not religious, but I am going to bring it out, Jesus Christ. So we don't have to do things overly and try to be compete. There's no competition there. Jesus Christ is the one and only. We can only adhere, change, adapt, um, transcend, transform, whatever it is you need to do for you. You know what that is, right? Well, let me try to read some of these comments. Blah blah blah. No, what? Originally Haitian. Okay, Dominicans are originally Haitian. Yes, that I know. I didn't want to do it on this show, and thank you for that. The whole island was called Haiti before the split in 1844, creating the Dominican Republic, and that is truth because I read that the other day. When I wanted to know more about a place that I'm going to visit, and I truly love, they are and always will be one of my favorite flags, whether they embrace the truth of it or not. And the country is beautiful. I just hope they adapt and start reaching out and not being so ignorant on their stuff being the best and the only thing in the world, or they'll be invisible to the world. And they don't need that, not as a third world country. So, with that being said, as usual, I always have my gavel ready for you. Please like, share, subscribe, okay? I'm just Desire for Knowledge. Have a great weekend. I sure am. And I hope to see you next week live here on YouTube and on IAAH Radio with the best DJs and the best music in town. Join my talk radio there. I believe I'm the only one doing talk, but you can also listen to their music, and they got great DJs out there playing all kinds of things, house music and everything. There's DJ 5 a.m. Don't ask me what days they play. Go look it up on Twitter, Mixcloud, and wherever they're at. IAH Radio and H Radio Plus, and also my husband, DJ Bug and Hard, who also is a great DJ. I thank you all for listening to me today. I hope you liked this video and shared it and subscribed. If not, just give it a like up so it can get around to people that need to learn when they're traveling how to adapt to other elements, other countries, foods, cultures, and things like that. And I hope this was interesting for you because I just wanted to bring it at you here on Know Your Truth, Real Talk with me, just Desire for Knowledge, where I bring the truth and nothing but the truth is now adjourned. I'll see you next week. Ciao. See you there. Don't forget to check me out on all social media. All right, IAAH Radio.